What's up, Chris?
Hey Vito, like your Beckett hat, man. Where'd you get that from?
From Beckett. So,
I thought maybe you got it from SG.
so I still get the magazine. I got this today. I brought it specially upstairs. I still get the magazine. I don't know why. It's nostalgia, but I do like reading the magazine. There's not much to read anymore. It's mostly price guide. But funny, it wasn't last month, the month before, my book came just the front cover. Everything else was ripped out. And I complained, and they sent me two nice hats, and they sent me a really nice book, like the history of baseball cards. It's like a really cool, like hardcover book. But that's where I got my Beckett hat.
Nice.
I don't know. Am I supposed to bend it? Is it supposed to stay flat? I don't know what the look
You're
is.
too old to wear a flat billed hat, man.
I am too old to wear a flat billed hat.
17.
Speaking of old, and before we get into asking how everything's going with life and family and work, last 2 weeks ago when we were chatting, I was telling you my knee was bothering me. So let me give you a quick update on this knee situation, which has now gotten completely out of hand. So I went to the doctor, and doctor says, you know what? You got great mobility. I was like, well, I still go to the gym and I ride the bike. And he's like, yeah, you got great mobility, but you're probably feeling some inflammation, aka arthritis, right? So he says, what we're going to do is we're going to send you to PT 3 times this week, and then we're going to give you this morning, it was scheduled a PP shot or PRP shot. Yeah, PRP injection. And what it is they pull your plasma from another part of your body. So they draw blood from another part of your body, and then they inject that blood into the knee. And the healing aspects of the blood, your platelets, the things that scab when you cut yourself, you scab. The healing aspects of your blood will attack the inflammation, and it'll heal. Now, the problem with that is it could take anywhere from 2 to 4 to 6 weeks, depending on how you react to it. And if you remember, I'm going to Orlando, not next week, the week after, for a week of work, and then 2 days in Disney. You can't not be able to walk if you're in Disney. So fast forward to this morning. I haven't been able to walk since Sunday. Sunday night, we got home. We took a walk with the dog. I got home, couldn't walk, couldn't put any pressure on it. So we went today, and instead of them giving me the PRP, they gave me cortisone. So he's hoping that kind of fixes itself in a few days. They'll take an MRI. We'll see where we are. But I'm thinking torn meniscus from my crazy youthful days finally coming back to me.
Hey man, I'm looking at the YouTube site, and it says that hadn't started yet. People are waiting.
How? Let's see. Oh, I'm glad you said that. Let's see what's going on.
It's waiting for the Points Sports Cards veto.
All right, it says, let's see what we got going on. Maybe let's see if the time is correct. 8:15 p.m. March 12th.
Is it on East Coast time?
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do 5:15.
I don't know. Anyways, while you figure that out,
talk to me.
Shoot, man, softball season's gearing up. Son's hockey and soccer's gearing up. Life is so busy. We're getting ready to open a shop. Still can't make that official announcement yet, but it's coming.
Is there anything you could tell me about that? Because it's exciting, because the guys in the card honkies have been talking about potentially making a ride to Columbus. I actually got one request to ride with me.
Yeah, Kevin, right?
Yeah, Kevin asked me to join. So
he doesn't live too far from you, right? He's in New Jersey.
He does not live that far from me. He lives probably about 20 minutes.
Right, so somewhere in Columbus, we'll be opening a shop soon, and we'll have a soft opening where, just getting our bearings, yada, yada, yada. Then we'll have a big grand opening, like trade night, autograph signers, celebrities, breakers, stuff like that. And invite all you fine people to come and crash the party. So,
yeah, he was
probably sometime in the summer.
Yeah, he asked me if I wanted to ride with him, and I said, yeah, I'd be definitely able to do that. I am so upset about this because I finally set this up. You are right. It says that it's waiting to start. I don't know what that means. It says scheduled. But if it says scheduled, why wouldn't it have started? Let's see. All right, I'm learning this thing as we go along here. So we'll figure it out. So what else is going on? The kids are good, you said?
Yeah, just getting by one day after another. School's almost out. Spring break, going to Virginia a couple weeks.
That's cool. What part?
Going to Shenandoah
Valley.
Staying
more in the Arlington area?
Yeah, I got some family out in Arlington. in like Fredericksburg, Virginia. So we're heading out to the Shenandoah Valley Mountains, staying in a cabin for I think it's 5 nights. Then going to DC for 2 nights, and then see my cousins, my aunts, my uncles, and they've got kids who are my kids' age that they haven't even met yet. So that'll be cool. Kids will get to play,
Yeah,
go see all the
that's
museums
always
and
fun
stuff
for the kids.
together.
That's always fun for the kids when they meet family they've never met, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you do any hobby stuff when you're there? Any sports related stuff? What are you doing?
I doubt it. Pretty much, like I plan on like every vacation. I think we talked last time. Every vacation I've been on, I've worked. Like you said, even when we go to Aruba, you're still checking your emails and stuff in the morning. Like I want to put my phone away and use it. Like I just might put on Do Not Disturb and just use it as a camera. And we
Yeah,
are
I'm
planning
not.
on going to the Phillies are in town. It's the second game of the year with the Nationals. We're planning on going to that, but we'll see how the weather is. March 31st, I think 30th. I think that game is.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I told you earlier I'm going to Orlando on the 24th. I work the 24th through the 28th, which is Friday. Friday night I'll head over to Disney. I'll stay all day Saturday and I'll come home Sunday. So really like 36 hours in Disney, not even. I'm trying to get this thing. It's so aggravating because it shows that we're like going to go live, which is awesome. And it's not. Well, maybe this is what it is. I even have the live chat on. Chris, I was so excited today.
It's
I was
trial and
so
error, Vito.
excited.
Trial and error. We'll get it all together one day. Remember
I
those
know, but
times weeks
still.
ago when my computer would just shut down in the middle of the show?
I know, but I was so happy about this. No, maybe I got to answer all these questions. Save changes saved. Man, I would love to get like if one person was in, that'd be so cool. I think last time it was your brother was in there. Say family came through for you.
Yeah.
Well, this week's a big week for basketball. Do you watch the tournament, division, the conference tournaments?
I will absolutely watch all of Duke's games, but I'll probably end up watching the SEC too because I really think it's Duke,
That's
Auburn,
becoming the best conference in basketball.
and I think it's
If
just
they're
it's
not already.
Duke, Auburn, and Alabama are the three teams. Then it's everybody else, in my opinion. I mean, I think Florida and Houston are very good, but I don't think they've got it takes a special team for March Madness, and Duke and Auburn have the best two players in the country, and Duke might have two of the top five if you include Con Kneppel. Like there, and then John Shire's just the next Coach K. Like they just rinse, repeat, keep on winning. Just seems like it's a Cooper Flag, just ride off into the sunset. But I thought the same thing about Zion Williamson when they had RJ, Zion, and Cam, and they lost to Michigan State in the Final Four.
Yeah, it's funny. You see that team. RJ Barrett was on that team too, right?
Yeah.
What's his name's having a decent year this year too. Williams Zion, right?
Yeah.
He does when he plays. He's having a decent year.
He's very good, like all-star level, averaging to like 20 and 10. But nobody cares because look what Joker, Luca, and Shea are doing. Like even Jason Tatum's might not even be the best player on his team. The Cleveland Cavaliers have won 15 games twice this year. They have 3 of the top 4 winning streaks, and they have the best record in the NBA without a guy named LeBron James.
Yeah.
They're incredible.
Did you see LeBron talking about LeBron? You saw the whole nonsense with Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah.
What'd you think of that?
If you're coming and talking about my son and his character and what kind of man he is, that's one thing. If you say he sucks at basketball, like that's his problem. Let him take care of it. Like that's what Stephen A's job is to talk about people and how they play a sport. You don't see like, Kenyon Martin coming out and saying, you're talking bad about my son. Like the only one who does that's LeVar Ball, and he doesn't even do that anymore. Like imagine if your dad came out in your little league and started telling the other coaches like, hey, stop talking trash about my kid. Like it's embarrassing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a dad being a dad, but this is like his job. It's not like he's getting bullied on the schoolyard because he's a dork. It's you're not that good at basketball and someone said it out loud.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been one of those parents that was very realistic about what my daughter can and can't do. Now, she's a fantastic school teacher. She's an amazing student. She has a great sense of creativity, but she was limited. Now, she was the captain in high school of her lacrosse team, which was pretty cool. But they were a school that never had women's lacrosse. It wasn't like they had a lot of history there. And then in basketball, look, she was 6 foot tall, so it helps, right? But
Yeah.
I always was one of these parents that never said like my daughter's either better or worse than she really is. I was very realistic about that stuff. So that's just me. I mean, you're probably a lot closer to it because you have two kids that are in sports. So I don't know, and they play multiple sports, right?
Yeah. So still, well, I don't know how long that can last, but they're still getting their feet wet with what they like. I think Claire's on her path and already knows. Cooper's just, he's still figuring it out.
Well, obviously she's done the taekwondo because now she's mastered that, and she's going to stick with that, right? You
Oh, yeah.
think?
She keeps, like, tomorrow night she's going to a sparring class. She's going to enter a competition in October.
Okay.
She'll go there directly from her ballerina class. So she's got jazz dance and then goes straight from jazz to black belt. And it's kind of funny because she shows up in her little tutu and stuff and then puts on her sparring gear and then kicks people in the face. Like, it's awesome.
And your son has no interest in that, or?
He tried before, and I just don't think he could have the attention span. And so he did wrestling, but now he's expressed interest in wanting to do it again. And now he's at the age where Claire started. So I think, if he wants to do it again, I'll send him back. Like, great. If he wants to keep with wrestling and the other stuff, whatever. But I think he'll go back soon.
That's pretty cool, though, the wrestling thing, right? Like I said, my daughter did the basketball thing, and then lacrosse was just interesting to her. I think because some of our cousins did it, right? Like they get that. My cousin does it. I want to do it.
Oh, yeah. But see, do you have cousins close?
So my daughter has, yeah. So she has three first cousins that are like literally right here, including one that lives downstairs. One of her first cousins lives in my house. She rents the apartment from us. So she has family really close. And then she also has, so there's four of them on the island, right? So there's three girls and one boy, and she's the baby of that group. And then she has a first cousin on my sister's side that lives in Florida, so she's not as close with her, but they're much closer in age. So she really looks up to the one cousin that is a school teacher like she is. So I think that's, and she's also going to be her maid of honor this summer. So that kind of, she has a really close relationship with her. My daughter's a mama daddy girl, right? She'd much rather be home with us on a Friday night when she's here for spring break or whatever it is than out with her friends. Because she says, hey, I got plenty of time for my friends. I don't normally spend a lot of time with my parents. But I think she's gonna have a tough time moving back from Pittsburgh. That's my honest opinion. Because I do think that even though it's school and it's not real life, it's you're in that student mentality. She's made a lot of really good friends. And like did you go away to college?
I'm 2.5 hours from home, not far.
That's away. And are you still very close with your college friends?
Like two of them, but they were also like my best friends before I went to college too.
Okay.
We just happened to all go to Toledo or Bowling Green, which is 20 minutes from Toledo. Like four of us all went to the same place that are all from this town and still all live in this town. So I don't think anybody that I met there, I wouldn't. One person I'm close to still of all of the people that I met there.
Yes, and so your closest friends are people you went to high school with then. Yeah, see, that's interesting because even though I lived in New York, I went to one of the smallest private schools in New York City. And so I lived in an area of the city where like it was growing, so they couldn't fit us in the school where everyone went. And they built a new school, and there was only like 19 of us in that school for the 8 years we were there. So I'm really close with a lot of the guys from there. But ironically, half of us went to high school together. And the other half that didn't go to high school with me, we went to college together. So I went from first grade right through eighth with this core group of guys that I'm still literally we were chatting today. And half of us went to the same high school, and the other half went to a different high school. But then when we went to college, the half that I went to high school went all dispersed to college, and that half we all went together. So I actually spent a lot of time with those guys. So yeah, and that's what I think my daughter's going through now. She's going to be really close with these girls, and she has a great group of friends here in New York. No, let me not discount the friends here. They are really tight, and a lot of it has to do with those kids who went through the COVID years of high school, and my daughter's school closed. So she had a school that sophomore year closed, and then she had to go to another school that they didn't, and all girls too, right? And listen, you know how girls can be catty, especially at that age. And they stuck together, this core group, and they're really, really close. And so I think that that brought them closer because of the whole COVID thing. And my wife was telling me yesterday, it's 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I can't believe 5 years
5 years ago
is just
yesterday,
gone.
they canceled the NBA season. I saw a tweet from ESPN.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. Just unbelievable that that was 5 years already.
But Vito,
It's crazy. Yeah.
we are 18 minutes and 15 seconds into this, and we haven't spoken one thing about the hobby except for your hat.
Okay, I know. But we're both dads.
We got a little
And
personal today. Let's move on,
I
man.
think today was good. We talked a little personally.
I had a
All right, let
stressful
me.
day, so I needed to
I
talk a
do
little
have a
personal.
shout out to someone on Twitter. Met the guy today. He's at JONJSAAS on X or on Twitter. His name is the Jacob Young #1 fan. I'm shouting him out because last time we chatted, I said I'm just struggling with all this base cards. I'm struggling with organization. I just had a sale Monday night on District, which went really well. I enjoyed. I'll talk a little bit what I did on District differently this time. And yes, I have the same buyers still, even though I have a couple new ones come in, but it's still the same core of people that come and visit me once a month. But the reason I'm shouting this Jacob Young #1 fan out for is he reached out through Card Purchaser and asked if anyone had base to donate to a children's hospital, and I'm all in. I'm literally going to clean my shelves, and I'm going to have a true collection now. So the stuff that I just am sitting on is just going to go, and I'm getting rid of it, and I'm excited, and I look forward to it, and I just want to shout that guy out. He's a Jacob Young #1 fan who is the center fielder for the Washington Nationals. Gold Glove finalist last year.
That's really crazy you just said that, because last time we talked about how we're sending cards off to consignment.
Yeah.
I sent a bunch for UPS package to DMN Takeover, and I got my first payment today. Just said, hey, just want to get the ball rolling. I sold some of your stuff. I got a bunch more. What's your PayPal? Here's some money to get you started, and got my first payment today. So
wow, really nice.
Yeah, happy about that.
That feels awesome. So I said base, right? I'm truly giving base to donate to the hospital. But then I have a whole, as we all do, anyone who's collected and opened enough boxes has, you have a whole bunch of cards that are like rookie cards that are worth a couple bucks, right? You got a couple of refractors.
Well, like this
you
one?
know, like that one. Yeah. Did you get, by the way, did you get what I mailed you?
Yeah, I did. I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you.
That's okay. I just want to make sure you got it.
Absolutely thought the Topps logo in the background was the coolest thing, especially
So
on that
badass.
Reds team card.
It looks so good on that, right?
It's not mine anymore. They both took them.
Well, I'm glad they got to enjoy those.
And I'm very.
The other reason I'm asking is I specifically sent it using a new software that I use for shipping like single or double cards like that in that rigid envelope. And you know, price wise, it's a lot less expensive, but I wanted to make sure it got there safe and sound. So that's good.
Everything was good. Thanks.
I also got a good mailman, right? He doesn't rob me.
Yeah.
I've been robbed. My cards have been robbed multiple times.
My mailman, well, used to be my mailman. Now he does 2 streets over. He was on Jeopardy.
What?
His name's Keith. He's the best. I'm like, Keith, I need you back on my route, man. He's like, nah, I moved up in the world. He's too good for my house now. But Keith was like, yeah. One day he's like, hey, man, I'm going to be on Jeopardy next week. I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, my episode's airing. I hope you watch. I'm like, absolutely.
I do take care of my mailman. It's just something I believe in. I give him a little gift. He gets all my packages wherever I need them, when I need them delivered, so I take care of that. So yeah, so that's my Jacob Young #1 fan shout out today. But let's talk hobby. You've been itching to talk about this. Firstly, you've already rattled off a few times that we've spoken about the number of parallels that are out there in Series 1. I think you quoted over 80, right? Was your number?
Yes.
And they got rid of some.
NBA Prism has 89.
Yeah.
Why?
Chances of creating collecting that rainbow are over now.
89 parallels. I sent my buddy, I'll see if I can find it next time you start talking. Paul Skeens has something like 7,000 one-of-ones. Like, he has more one-of-ones than, like, Joey Votto has cards. I mean, I get the debut patches up. I think it's over 600,000 right now and all this stuff. But, like, at some point, it just doesn't even matter when you have 80,000 different products that they're all crap. When you have you have 4 different one-of-ones just because they're a different color and it says one-of-one on it. Like why? And now I
Yeah.
don't know if you saw today. Mahan said that they're going to do the debut patches with the NBA and the NFL as soon as the licensing goes through,
Why
which I
wouldn't
think is
they?
cool.
Yeah. Why wouldn't they? They're going to
I
do as
think
much as
that's
they can.
the coolest thing they can possibly do because patch cards suck unless they're game used. And then generally you get like something that looks like a napkin. You get like a chunky colored. Like I saw one earlier, it was a Mike Trout. I think it was I don't know, museum collection or something, but it had like the A from the Angels and half the halo. Like
So
that's a
cool.
patch. You give me
Right.
something that's just a white piece of fabric. I'm like, I got that downstairs. I wipe my mouth after I eat some ribs.
Yes. Talking about these parallels and, you saw the Skeens card. We talked about that back in the end of 24 when we were talking about the Chrome update. We were talking about update series, right? Trying to find that card.
Yeah.
You're talking about that patch card for Skeens, right? That one-on-one. Or in general, you said he has more one-on-ones than any other player too.
Well, yeah, both. He has more one on ones of any other player, but that particular one of one is going to catch $1,000,000.
Yeah, it was last I saw, and this was a couple days ago. Again, dealing with this BS knee crap. It was at 550 the last time I saw it. But you're right, it's $1 million card. And what was
What's
it?
your
Some
take?
kid in California.
What's your take on the Wemby jersey? I don't
Which
think we've
one?
talked about this. The one
No,
where
we
he
did
gave
not
it to the
talk.
little kid, and then the dad sent it to Golden, and then it didn't go for very much because Wemby got hurt, and the dad tried to say, "Oh, I didn't want to do this," and like sue Golden for it.
Oh, really? I didn't hear
So
this.
like after a game, Victor Wembanyama sees
I saw that. I saw
five-year-old
that.
kid, and he trades jerseys with them. A
Right.
month later, jersey pops up on Golden for sale. Even Wemby tweeted like sad face, like I give it to a kid. But then he also said, I understand that that could be life-changing money for the kid. That could be that kid's college fund. To me, I'm putting it in my college fund. I have no idea what that dad's doing, but it's got dad taking the money written all over it. Just the whole circumstances and the story around it just stinks of dad taking advantage of everything. But it only sold for
Yeah.
like 77,000 because Wemby got hurt and was out for the season 3 days before it ended. So he wanted Golden to pull it down. Ken said, "No, I'm not doing that." So then he tried to sue Golden to get more money. And Golden, how are you going to sue Golden and win? Like Paul Lasco, the hobby
Yeah. I like
lawyer, he
Paul.
had a whole thread about it. Go check that out sometime. But like,
I like Paul. Paul's a good guy.
yeah, I signed his jersey at the National in Chicago.
Oh, I didn't get to see him. It's funny. I think now we probably follow each other, but we connected during the whole 5 years ago during the COVID Project 2020 time, right? When that was coming out, he was the big Project 2020 guy and Project 70. So that's how we
Yeah.
connected. But yeah, it's amazing how many lawsuits he's actually gets not involved with, but talks about in the hobby that is specific to the hobby.
Yeah, it's great.
So Golden has a show I told you on Netflix. Have you ever watched it?
Yeah, I've seen. You know what? The very first episode has some of LJ's former inventory on it.
Well, okay.
Like we owned some of that was on like the Jackie Robinson stuff. That some of that we owned. I'm not sure if I'm
Okay.
supposed to say that or not, but I did.
Yeah, that's okay.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares, and our sponsor Beckett is going to back us. They'll back us on that.
Beckett would love to sponsor us, right? But yeah,
they will.
Show. I think it's great because it shows you. I had no idea he was that good of friends with Barry Bonds. You see a lot of cool stuff like the Star Wars collections and the stuff that you wouldn't ever get a chance to even see.
I mean, the people who are involved, like when we were at the National, not last year, the year before, I didn't go to Cleveland, but like Jeter is involved, right? Peyton Manning is involved.
Yeah.
There's a lot of big time. Brady's involved. Like there are a lot of big time people in this hobby, and I think the comeback from COVID, you saw the people that kind of came in, flipped, and left, and they're gone. They're gone, right? And even there were some big names that came in and did stuff like that, and they're gone too. But
Brady owns a card shop now, and his autograph thing, people are so mad. He scammed people out of millions of dollars. Autograph.io. Well, he was the spokesman for it, and like digital autographs and NFTs and stuff that were selling for millions of dollars that are worth hundreds of dollars now. But he would promise that they were worth
people
millions.
get involved in that stuff. Why do they get involved? I mean, listen, I can't complain about like that. Part of the whole basis of Ben's Break Club is based on NFTs. You know that.
I'm very aware.
The whole basis of that is based on NFTs. Now, I've definitely, and I'm obviously a token holder. I've definitely made my money back on that. Right? When you think about what it cost me, what I spent, and what I've gotten back in return from Ben's, from the whole process of buying hobby boxes that, not, I wouldn't say cost nothing. He doesn't do things like that, but just discounted, and being able to sell and some of those things, like I've gotten that money back. It definitely was not that bad. But I can understand how people got confused by, well, what do you mean it's powered by NFTs? Like, what does that mean?
I had a lot of conversations with Ben when he started it, and I was very against it. And you know what? He's very good at what he does. He's built an excellent community, tons of people, like you said, not just the same buyers. He's brought in so many new ones. I had a great call with Ivan about District this week. We jumped on a Zoom to talk about possibly, LJ's has a marketplace. We just don't use it. But when we open our shop, maybe that's a way to get our customers on there. But Ben's just the innovation and the stuff he does. Now he's with the Tin Caps and the soccer team and doing that stuff. Like, he's just doing stuff that other people aren't doing. And that's
Yeah.
kind of what we hope to do as an actual card shop, though, not like a breaker in a community, is just do the stuff other people aren't doing. And that's exactly what Ben's doing. And it's awesome.
I actually think it might be too late, but I think I figured out our little chat issue. There's 3 people in the chat now.
What?
There's one from the audience. So I actually think we may be live right now.
Let me
Going to
check.
going to my content and my dashboard. We are, it still says scheduled, but it does
Yeah.
say 3 people's in the chat, 1 in the audience.
I don't know where they're watching it.
They could be
I can't see
watching
that
it.
information either. So
They could be watching it on X. I do have us live on X too.
interesting. All right.
Matt, listen, I try to play around with this thing because I want it to work.
Sorry, man. It's Twitter. Like, I can't do that.
Yeah, it's Twitter. That's true. I'm down. I'm down with it being called
Did
Twitter.
you know that the bird is named Larry Bird?
No, stop it.
I swear to God. Google
Come
it.
on.
Google it. His name's Larry. The bird from Twitter is Larry Bird.
That's why Elon crushed it.
Dude,
Because
I am George Costanza. I know more about nothing than anybody you will ever meet. I have the most useless information ever, but I have it. It's in my brain.
the most useless information. All right, this is let's say it still says it's upcoming, which is so weird
All
because
right.
it does show someone's in the chat here. I'm gonna say hi to the world out there. See if you don't have a little chat bubble on the bottom of your.
Yeah, but it says I can only send private chats to you.
Oh, really? And I have you as like
I
a.
put it up and it says send private chat.
Oh,
So I just put it back down.
I'm gonna give you. I got to give you the link to like the producer one, so you could have the whole
Got it.
kit and caboodle, as they say. Oh, so one thing we talked about, not much. Basketball will probably grab next week as the tournament starts. That'll much be a bigger conversation. Have you been following spring training? I mean, obviously my Yankees are in the crapper now. No Cole, no Stanton, no Heel. I mean, 3 of your core.
My Reds are winning the World Series. Ellie's
I wouldn't
hitting
mind that.
Ellie's hitting like 500. Matt McClain's hitting like 4. Christian Encarnacion Strand is healthy and hitting bombs. They sent Novelli Marte back to AAA because they just don't need him. Like, you're going to have Steer and left, but actually really solid starting rotation. Tons of depth in the pitchers for the first time, like, ever. I mean, I haven't been this excited for the Reds since, like, the COVID year when they went to the playoffs. They had Bauer and
Yeah, your boy, your daughter's favorite player.
yeah, Jesse out and left. He re-signed with the Mets because he couldn't come back to Cincinnati.
Really?
Well, I don't know if he couldn't come back. There was a lot of rumors he wanted to come back and Cincinnati wanted him, but he ended up re-signing with the Mets, which that's where he was last year. Whenever the Mets are in town, we'll be there, Cincinnati or Cleveland. You know what? Might be a good reason to go to Pittsburgh too. So
You know it's a great stadium. So here's a question: do you play MLB The Show?
no, I'm going to this year though because we just got a PS5.
Yeah, that's why I was going to ask you because I think the playing with Ellie must be really cool in that game. Like stealing bases all over the place with him, just playing an amazing shortstop.
Almost like Bo Jackson in Super Tecmo Bowl.
Super Tecmo Bowl. Yes,
Can't beat Bo
that
Jackson.
was the best.
Bo Jackson,
No,
even Roger Craig was pretty unstoppable.
yeah, that was kind of weird. But he was a good running back, Roger Craig.
Dude, Roger
Actually,
Craig was awesome.
he's a great running back.
He got a Super
But
Bowl with the
you know, when you
Niners.
start thinking of longevity, though, what's his name? Frank Gore is one of the all-time leading rushers.
Yeah.
Listen, I know longevity matters, right? Especially in the NFL, because if you could last that long,
And
God.
and man, you're talking NFL. Like, was it Saturday, the day before free agency started, would like the single most crazy day in the NFL. Like Devontae Adams is gone, Cooper Kupp is gone, Aaron Rodgers is gone, DeAndre Hopkins is traded, Aaron Jones resigned, Sam Darnold to Seattle, Geno
I
Smith to
know.
the Raiders.
How about Metcalf to the Steelers?
Pittsburgh. They just need a quarterback now. It's going to be Rodgers, and you
I mean,
got Russ meeting with the Browns tomorrow.
oh, so Russell was on a free agency year,
Yeah, and then
and Fields is already
Justin
gone.
Fields to the Jets.
He went
like,
to the Jets. Yeah, he went to the
you
Jets.
think about
Zach,
values.
where'd Zach go from the Broncos? Where did he go?
Who?
Zach Wilson. He was the third.
Miami.
He went to Miami, right?
Yeah, Denver kept Jarrett Stidham as the backup, and Wilson went to Miami. But I mean, you got like Daniel Jones going to the Colts.
I think he's the real deal, Bo Nix. But that's
Absolutely.
That's just me. I do think he's the real deal.
And you got Daniel Jones going to Indianapolis. The Texans trading everybody away. It's just like, man, I've seen all these teams get better. I've seen Washington, my God, the moves they've made on defense. The players that Philadelphia and Kansas City have lost. It's like we're gonna have some diversity in the league next year. It's not going to be so top heavy. But then what does that do for an Aaron Rodgers rookie card? So to me, Rodgers, like, it's not going up, it's not going down. Justin Fields, it could if he just blows up, because he's had two just crappy situations. Chicago, he had no shot there. He goes to Pittsburgh, he does very well, and then he gets replaced. I feel like Fields does well. He can improve his stock, but he's like the only one. Devontae Adams isn't getting any better. Puka Nacua,
but he's also getting older. And
I'm
football,
saying, what player that is getting to a new team is going to increase like the value of their rookie card? Like, I don't see anybody except maybe Fields.
Yeah, Fields is probably the only one, unless. I mean, do you think Zach Wilson quarterbacks in Miami, or he's just a back?
Who knows, because Tua's one concussion away from never playing again. But the one that intrigues me is Najee Harris with the Chargers. Najee has had 4 straight 1,000-yard seasons with Pittsburgh. And now he's with Jim Harbaugh, a way better quarterback, a way better offense, just a very good team. And I'm not saying Tomlin's a bad coach, but I feel like Najee fits the scheme more in the Chargers. But also, he's a running back.
Yeah, they did a nice job though, the Steelers this offseason so far.
I've been excited. I got Schefter on Twitter. Note he's on. My brother texts me every 15 minutes. Hey, we got Evan Ingram. We got Dre Greenlaw. We got this. We got that. Can you believe this? Like, we're all hoping Cooper Kupp comes to Denver, but I think he's going to Dallas. But
it shows you how powerful the NFL really is, right? And how they've completely separated themselves from the NBA. Like,
you got the heart of the NBA with the playoff push right now. Same with the NHL. Season's coming to an end. It's the playoff push. You got opening day is next week with the Tokyo series.
Yeah.
And the NFL is dominating the news.
What is your take on these series that open up overseas?
I don't care.
Yeah.
It sucks because I'm not going to be able to watch it because it's going to be on at 3 o'clock in the morning. But I'm not going to watch that game anyways, because if it's in LA, it's going to be on at like 11:30 here, and I'm not staying up.
I'm a baseball package guy. I get the package. I've gotten it since day one. I love watching baseball. I love it. I could watch 10:30 starts. I love it. Love it.
I will. You know, my kids play baseball, softball pretty much every day in the summer. We're at the ball field till 7:30, 8 o'clock. When we get home, our neighbors who live right that way will have a fire on their front porch. They will have the Reds game on a TV on their front porch. My kids will be out of the car on their front porch before I even put the car in park.
That's awesome.
I absolutely love. So we watch all the Reds games with our neighbors. You know, my kids' godparents and like our best friends, and it's just great. And so, like, I will watch all of the Reds games, but if there's a random like Cubs Cardinals game on TV, I'm not watching it. But with the NFL, there's a random Thursday night game, I'm absolutely watching it. So that's where we might be different. You're going to watch those random baseballs. I'm not. I'm going to watch every NFL game.
I will watch the Mariners and the Angels in August, like on a Wednesday night, like I'll watch that.
No.
I'll watch it. I don't know why I'll watch it. The other thing too is I'm trying to get, and you had a great question, and I'm going to kind of lead into that. I told you I had my sale on Monday because I'm looking at things to add. I try to add cards that minimum value is $5 to $10 minimum, and then I don't go too much higher than that because obviously I want to sell. Not I don't necessarily need to sell at market price, but you don't want to put a card up there when you have 30 people in your audience. That's a $200 card, and because there's only 30 people bidding on it, it goes for $1.99, right? And you have to honor it. So I'm not doing
I
that,
have
right?
so many things to say right now.
So no, so I want you to say what you want to say, but you asked a question to me, and you texted me, and you said you wanted to bring this up tonight. Would you rather have a Bowman first or a rookie card? And it's a great question, and I do think it matters on the brand. I think if you're going to have, and it matters on numbered, color, and all of that. A Bowman first, low numbered card that Gem mints to me is much more valuable than any rookie card paper from Flagship.
Valuable money or valuable to veto?
But I think both.
Okay.
I think both.
Because I think
both.
money 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, I think both, right? Like, so I will go heavy in Bowman. I went heavy into series. Well, I don't know what heavy is, right? For an individual person like me, I bought 4 jumbo, 2 hobby. I bought the Fanatics boxes that we opened last week, and then I have waiting for my daughter when she comes home I have 2 mega boxes. That's a small part. So, but that's, listen, that's a couple thousand cards when you start ripping these things.
Yeah.
That you're sitting on.
There's all your base cards to give to the Washington Nationals.
It's going right. It's going right to the Children's Hospital. So me personally, when I open a sick Bowman, and I'll show you some of the stuff that maybe I got one here on the top.
But what about this?
Like Joey Votto, blue.
Just a Votto to 125. My buddy Josh at work gave to me.
I don't have my background on now, but you saw I have my shelf, and I have some of the cards that I like to keep out on display, and I have a Votto auto up there.
Why don't we know?
No reason other than the fact that I just think Joey Votto he epitomized what it is to be a ball player, and that's why I have that love for the guy. I'm not a collector of Votto, but I hit an auto, and it was a numbered. I think it's numbered to 50. And it's cool looking, and I like Votto. So I'd rather have a Bowman first.
That's how I feel about Freddie Freeman. I don't collect him. I wouldn't collect it. I wouldn't go out of my way to get it. But if I hit a Freddie Freeman auto, it's going up on my wall, and I'm never getting rid of it. Or like Mookie Betts, like people I respect that are really, really good, but I'm not personally going to collect. Samesies. But Vito, you were talking about I had 2 things I was thinking about. The auction, and I can't take $1 for it, whatever. I have seen so many videos, all of them from Whatnot, surprise, surprise. In the last week, I've probably seen 10 different videos where the people are doing live auctions and they're cussing out their audience because their cards aren't going for what they was. I can't lose money on this, and I can't lose. I don't care if you lose money. I'm here to buy your stuff.
Of course not. Listen, I unload, you know what I ironically unload a lot of? Project 2020 and Project 70. I bought 5 of every one of those cards when they came out. I don't need 5. And everyone knows that I think they averaged down to $15 when you bought 5 of them, right? Maybe 15 and change. I'm selling them for $8, $9, maybe $10 every once in a while. But I'm trying to just move through them. I will never bitch. First of all, if I'm putting them up for auction, I want to sell them. But I'm not going to put my Ellie number to 25 autograph from the National in the 99-cent auction. Because
you know what though? At the very beginning of Whatnot, LJ's did Whatnot auctions. Yeah, I would throw up $1,000 cards, and they would go for $3,000-$4,000. I'd have hundreds of people in there, and the bidding wars. The prices would sell for way more than it's worth because people would have BD syndrome and have to upgrade and have to outbid you.
Yeah,
but this guy, he puts up a base Jaden Daniels Prism insert. I can't remember which one, but it's like a $3 card. He's like, this goes for $15 all day. Can't believe you guys. MF this, MF that. He ends up flipping over his table, says, I'm out of here. Man, like, are you dumb? Because no one's ever coming back to your stream again after this. Then you just got roasted on all of social media. Nobody, I'm
I
gonna
mean, I
look you
saw
over
some
and
cool
watch
stuff,
you.
right? Like here's an Otani. This is silver pack, right? Like things like this. This is a Bobby Witt. This is still a prospect card, right?
Yeah.
These are the kind of cards I'm selling, right? I have 20 of them. I don't need, like a Tatis rookie card. Like these are the kind of things, like $4 or $5 each. That if someone else who really wants to collect them wants it. But the stuff that I like, when I look at my shelf and I say I'm not going to sell my Aaron Judge
Yeah.
signed autograph rookie card, I'm just not going to sell it.
And then I see the post on Twitter today. It said, "Oh, you want 100% comps plus shipping plus tax, but you only want to pay me 70% of comps." No, I mean literally. I said last time we set up at the card show. There was a group of guys that came up and said, "We're buying everything over $100 at 80% comps because we have someone we're gonna go sell to Monday for repacks." I'm good with that. I will unload my whole thing because I'm at a card show. I want to sell all my stuff.
You want to go home empty.
Yeah, I'm going to put that much work and fees into it anyways. But if I'm going to sell, something super liquid, okay, like this Paul Skeens right here, just got back from PSA, Refractor 10. I'm at a show. I'm getting 100% for this card or it's coming home with me. But, like this card, just say it's $40. I'll take 30 for it all day long. This card's 12 cents probably, but you get the point. Like, I just want to get rid of it because I'd rather have the cash than that. You want to make a couple dollars, that's great. But then also, like, the expectation and the entitlement of people to be like, oh no, I'm only
Yeah.
buying at this. I'm only buying at that. Like,
I feel
I
like
get it
I
that
feel
you
like a
want to make a
card show is
profit,
what
but
I
I
need.
don't care. And then you see all these YouTubers. I've seen I won't not name anybody, but I'm getting kind of mad about it because I see so many YouTubers go to card shows and they're literally like bullying the other people because there's a camera in their face and they're big name and they're, well, I got to be at this number. Well, I got to be at this number. Well, I can't make money off that. Like, I don't care if you make money off this. I
Right.
don't. I'm going to
Right.
sell it to you for my price. But then they ended up giving it to them for that price anyways. And then it's like, oh, cool, I just made $2,000 off that guy. We made a great deal. And then he's like, no, he wouldn't negotiate, so we couldn't get a deal out of him. Like, or he wanted what you should have paid him. Don't be a dick.
I watch on TikTok. I see the guys with the watches. I'm not a watch person at all, right? I'm like you. I wear an Apple Watch. I enjoy my Apple Watch. I have one really, really nice watch that I invested in. But other than that, I'm not buying Rolexes and things like that. But I saw a guy, he bought a Rolex at one jeweler, literally in one store for 24.9, and then he walked down the block and sold it for I think 26.8, literally in minutes. Now, again, the guy didn't want to pay 26.8, but he said he was going to sell it for 27.5, so he was going to quickly turn around.
Yeah.
Just paperwork, getting $800-900. He walked literally and made $2,000, just about $2,000 in a matter of seconds.
A lot of these young kids, when I say young kids, youngies that you see on Twitter, and again, I don't want to name names because to me, they seem like nice human beings, but they just go to card shows, make deals, sell the cards, and make some of them make $100,000 a year by going to card shows.
Right. Congrats to those people, right?
And then reselling them. It's like, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love my job. I hit the job jackpot in life.
100%.
But like, what's stopping me from just going to all these card shows, bullying people into giving me deals, and then going to sell it somewhere else? Well, I'm not a dickhead,
right? Well, that's one.
I just can't do that. But also, like, it's just I'm getting annoyed now. We got to talk about something else.
All right. So you asked me, and we started a little late today, so we're going a little bit over. But I know it's going to be bedtime soon. But you talked to me about vending machines. Now I don't see them. So I will tell you, the last time I saw a vending machine on my cruise in December, my cruise ship had a full that. And by the way, when my wife caught her eyeball on it, she said that's going to be trouble, right? Because that's not what the cruise is about. Us sitting in a room ripping packs.
Yeah.
But I did not pick up any. It was a lot of tops in this one, and I don't know how they all are, but there was a lot of flagship tops, right? Series 1, Series 2, update, and then a lot of non-baseball. And I don't buy a lot of non-baseball. I really have to be bored to buy basketball a bit. Football.
LJ's has 3 of them. We'll get into that in a minute. And I brought it up because I saw Sue's Yanks chicks post that she was somewhere and saw one from the fan stand. And that's who we have them through. But in Columbus, Ohio, the Poke Center has a bunch of Pokemon ones. But they're also selling like Prismatic and Evolutions and so 151 and stuff for MSRP. So people are waiting in line at these things for the vendors like it was COVID Prism 2020 at Target, and they're
Pokemon is still hot
fights
again, huh?
over it. I mean, you can buy it and it just goes. You can buy the Poke Center ETBs for Prismatic are selling for over $300. You get them for like $60. So yeah, people are getting in fights and stuff over. Like we don't. I won't put that stuff in ours. We have sports card vending machines. We also have Pokemon, hockey, baseball. You know, we've got one.
I can get Pokemon through my distributor. I should start selling this stuff.
There's a lot of right now. Pokemon is like COVID.
And I'm not
peak.
greedy. Like when you're
Like,
going through the allocation piece now, right?
I can't even tell you how much Pokemon I have to go sell.
But you're going through this whole allocation thing, and I lived this through COVID. And again, not that I had this liquid amount of cash laying around that I could do this, but I literally put in a couple $100,000 worth of POs, and I think they filled $100. $100,000 POs, $100. I would get 2 boxes sometimes. 2 boxes.
How many breakers do you think there were in 2018 compared to 2022?
Oh, it's probably 75% of them. Well, I don't know. See, now I'm not familiar like how many more on Whatnot and all those other. I think the streaming services have made a lot more.
I'd say.
You think there's more now?
Tens of thousands more. And
more.
Backyard Breaks is the biggest streamer, the biggest distributor, the biggest whatever.
Everything.
They didn't exist then.
Right.
And so all these people built their businesses and get these allocations and built them up. And they just weren't around before when you could get that allocation. Then people like you who won it, well, they're giving it to everybody else because now there's not 2 vetoes, there's 200 vetoes.
And the guy would tell me, he's like, you don't understand allocation. I said, no, I absolutely understand allocation. I understand that the more you buy, the more you're entitled to. But I can't be entitled to anything if you... Though. Yeah, no, that's what they told me. They were like, I'm trying to figure my lights out here. But you got to buy the stuff that's sitting on our shelves, too. Yeah. Some of the dusty stuff.
You got to buy the stuff that nobody wants. Well, I don't want to say nobody, but you got to buy the bad products with the good products. And you know what?
But
I hate saying that because there's a product for everybody.
Yeah, I know. You always say that to me.
The products that don't sell as well to get the products that do sell as well. That's.
You always say that to me that this card may be nothing to me, right? But it's like somebody out there wants this Frank Robinson.
Yeah.
Which is a photo variation card. Now, nobody wanted it on my auction the other night, but you know who else is and again, it's because I don't follow the minor leagues as much as I should have, but remember how hot Austin Martin was?
Yeah.
Dude, people were going to kill each other on Ben's breaks to get the Blue Jays. Yeah, because he was with the Blue Jays at the time. This is a numbered card, and it went with 0 bids, 0. And it's an atomic refractor.
Yeah.
They said the guy can't catch a ball. That's what they said. In the chat room, someone said to me he can't catch a ball.
That's funny, man.
So they're selling cards everywhere. And you said Courtyard? Were you talking about the hotel chain?
So, I think
were you talking about the hotel?
No. Courtyard.io, they have vending machines that sell like repacks. You want a $25 repack, you want a $50 repack, you want a $100 repack.
Got it.
You're not guaranteed to get your money back, but some people have. And then PSA has one. I don't know if it's at the Vegas airport, but it's somewhere in Vegas. And you pay X amount of dollars and you get a slab in like tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 they have. But the thing is, I don't know if it's transparent with like a checklist to say, hey, these are the cards you could possibly hit. These are the ones already hit. So I'd be all about that. Otherwise, it's just scamming people out of money. Repacks, in my opinion, are scamming people out of money anyways. You're getting rid of all the stuff that you don't want, that you can't get for price, and putting $25 price tag on it, and then having one $25 card in 50 different packs, making all this money, and everyone's getting a bunch of malarkey that they don't want either.
Let me tell you, this repack thing is getting...
And you have a checklist, and this has been hit, this has been hit, this has been hit. I'm cool.
Yeah, like if you go to the National and they have these mystery pack tables, right? And you see they check, they cross out when something's been hit, right?
I think that's fine. Otherwise, it's a scam.
Yeah. There's a lot of these popping up, though.
So, and now I think what they announced that you can do Like Fanatics is going to do mystery packs where you open it like, how you do like TCG online, just open the pack like digitally in front of you. If you want the card sent to you, they'll send them to you, or you can just keep it there and in their
Yeah,
vault, and then you can just go sell them there, which is monopolizing everything. Like it's
I know.
brilliant.
It's a fun hobby. We fell in love with it years ago, and we haven't stopped. That's the thing about this hobby. Every time I want to get out, well, I don't ever really want to get out.
No.
I want to change. Like I want to evolve. That's what I want to do. And
Yeah.
I think this hospital thing's going to be a big step towards me getting organized, right? And I'll
Good.
feel good about it. I'll feel good about it. So
Good.
well, I appreciate you joining tonight. I know you said you had some stuff going on, and I appreciate that, man. As always, you are my favorite out there, and you know that. Love spending time with you and chatting with you, and I'm looking forward to coming out to Columbus.
But
Hopefully
Vito,
for
I got to ask you, man, because I thought about all day. Because we used to have the weird questions like, does pineapple belong on pizza? Where
Yeah.
does the tie belong on a giraffe? Who's your favorite Batman?
my favorite Batman. That's a good one. So inherently, I'm a Marvel person, not a DC person. Inherently,
Samesies.
so I'm more leaning towards Marvel. It's probably Christian Bale. Like, I mean, it would definitely be what's his name from the '70s, right? But it was so
Adam
bad back
West?
then, Adam West. But
Man, what
it's
about Michael
probably
Keaton?
I love Michael Keaton too. Michael Keaton is up there, but it's definitely I think it would be Christian Bale if I had to pick somebody. It would be Christian Bale. He's just an insane actor too.
Those were the best 3 movies of the series, but I'm going Michael Keaton. And I want to tell one story before we're done.
Absolutely.
I believe it was Adam Sandler was telling the story of how Michael Keaton was the guest host on Saturday Night Live while Sandler was there. And they all went out to dinner together one night. And the bill comes to get paid. And Sandler's like, oh, I got it. And Michael Keaton's like, no, I'll pay. And Sandler's like, no, I'll put it on the show. And Michael Keaton goes, I'm Batman. He's like, okay, you pay. And so it's like, it's just, I don't know, that first Michael Keaton movie with Danny DeVito and the Penguin, it did it.
You ever see
the Dark Knight Rises is my favorite movie of all time.
Really? The
Michael
Batman
Keaton.
Dad. You ever see the Batman Dad on Twitter, where he just drives around with the mask and he talks to his kids as Batman, like when he's teaching them stuff? It's fantastic. You gotta look this guy up. I'm gonna find him for you.
I'm playing Lego Batman with Cooper on the PS5.
Oh, okay.
That's our game we're into right now.
Did you see the last thing before I let you go? Did you see The Penguin?
No.
On HBO Max. Gotta watch that. You gotta watch that. It really was it was really good, actually.
I just finished Cobra Kai, so I need something else.
I know. All right, we got a few more episodes. We're watching The Mayor of Kingstown. Got a couple more episodes of that. Shout out to another Marvel character from that. And Jeremy, God, what's his last name? The one who almost got killed.
Revan,
yeah, he's the mayor of Kingstown.
Hawkeye,
so
right?
Hawkeye, right? Yes.
Yeah. All right, Vito. So we're on live next week because we're busy the following week.
I am gonna figure this shit out so that we can get some real people in here. I think
we're gonna promote it. We're gonna have a big show next week, so we'll be off the following.
Well, it's what's exciting. It's right before March Madness, right? It's the eve of the biggest day of people calling out from work.
Yeah.
Probably,
we'll have to share one of those brackets. At least our final four. So
yeah, I'm gonna do a bracket. That's a good idea. All right, man. Peace out. Have a great night. Appreciate you, man.
Thanks for watching. If anyone's watching or listening,
well, they will after I share this. They will. Thanks.
All right, man. We'll see you.
Bye.